Welcome back, everybody, to the NLC Div 2. That was quite a nice short break, M-Test. Like, just a little bit of time to compose ourselves before this final match up to the day. Now, I did say it was going to be a banger, but maybe not for the reasons that London United fans would hoped, because they are currently winless in the NLC Div 2, whilst Rising Dawn are one of those teams that is a bit more towards the top half of the table. We just saw an unbeaten streak be defeated in our previous game, M-Test. Do you think there's any likelihood that London are going to be able to pick up their first win here?
Short answer, no. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think London United is the same thing that I said about the other teams. I think what Bambi said as well. I think any team can beat literally any team. It's just about how you show up in the day, and I think you need to have a really solid game plan in the draft, especially. And I think if London United can bless us with that, then I think they have a good chance for sure. Like just because they're 0-5 doesn't mean like that the split is over or anything.
No,
they can still turn this ship around, and I have a good feeling. As you mentioned, we got quite an not an upset, but like Unix were for sure like probably favorites in that one, and then just won in 26 minutes. So maybe London United can do the same and bless us with another one.
Maybe. And well, it all starts in draft, as that is going to be on your screens right now. London United here on the blue side, forced to ban that Akshan away from Denzel. He's just way too good on that champion.
Yeah, it's just been kind of banned against him pretty much permanently, right? And you see the Lilia ban as well. Now the card is the first one, the first ban, and also like the first press overall. It's been open pretty much the whole day and not been picked. So this is kind of what's interesting me, right? Is that all the teams have so many like different priors, but one thing that we can all agree on is that Lilia is for sure considered OP. So getting taken off the board there, the Lucian as well, the flex pick could be a good pickup, a good ban as well, and the Lulu. Been also popping up, as you mentioned, so many enchanters being played right now. The Karma, the Lulu, the obviously Renata not being an enchanter, but you know, stuff like this could be really broken. Speaking of broken, Gwen just instantly being locked in for super big fun.
Oh, I really want to see the Vangstead Camille into this as one. So for a bit more context on Super Big Fun, this is a guy that I actually cast a fair bit in the UKEL around about a year ago at this point, and he came into that league a little bit later on X7, and kind of saved that team to a certain extent. They really weren't performing all too well, but he was a big, strong, stable presence in this top side. Maybe he can be that for London United in this game. Already seeing a couple champions that really want to get on top of him, though, with the Camille and the Kalista locked in.
Yeah, and like I'm kind of still respecting this Kalista blind pick, but I don't really understand it. Like there are so many good picks that you can pick into this, and Gwen being obviously one of them, like making Kalista really hard to like maneuver around when the Gwen is just basically immune, right? It's just one of those things that I'm not convinced yet, because every time we saw Kalista today, it's not been kind of popping off, and I just want to see Limitless completely dumpster enemy bot now with his pick. But wouldn't be surprised if you see Rusty Sniper. He has two choices now. Either he just go for the Estrel and play it safe, or he goes for something like the Kaisa and just plays really, really aggressive. But obviously, gonna be up to him. Could be a support locking as well, for all we know. The Seraphine flex pick.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. That's a lock-in, so nice to see. I mean, obviously, probably actually gonna be in Rusty Sniper's hands, because
actually,
playing Seraphine support against Kalista when you have all these like melee support still on the table could be rough, but having Rusty Sniper on it could be a good one. It's going to be really hard for Kalista to play these team fights if she's not really ahead.
I think the key thing as well is you've got this Gwen and Irelia that are two champions that function really well. If you opt into like a doubled enchanter bot lane, or just like an enchanter ADC and a support bit more generic, Udyr locked in for Fat IRL. Love this champion. I'm all about him. I don't want to go about him too much, but he's so good in the jungle right now. Clears super quickly and can get ganks down.
Yeah, and this the kind of the thing that we've been telling ourselves, right, and been told from other players as well, is that farming junglers are just kind of the way to go, at least in Div 2. We will see how Div 1 pairs up next week, but yeah, Udyr, and not something that I haven't seen in a long time, but from my understanding, it's been popping off quite a lot lately. So I'm excited to finally get to see him on the Rift, running around with his little bear stance and fighting people off. So yeah, the Senna once again seems like to be just really messing with people, especially probably in scrims, right? Because it's been banned pretty much permanently today, and the Yone once again, actually. Wait, why is Yone being banned? I was gonna say I'm not surprised, but I am.
Yeah, hold on.
Really surprised.
We've got a Gwen and The Gwen can be flexed into the jungle, and then Yone and Irelia can kind of go like wherever they want at that point.
Yeah.
So I guess countering that potential is it's a double enchanter ban coming through from London United. Rising Dawn could go for a mid lane mage here and leave their support for counterpick, or could go for the Silas instead.
Yeah, and like, once again, it's just gonna be a flex, right? I mean, I don't know if there's another guy in this league that plays Silas support, but maybe Fine Forever will surprise us. And
Yeah.
obviously, as this time around, he has, even though he doesn't have that many good ultimates, as long as you have the Seraphine one, it's
Yeah.
gonna be super just a banger, right? Like every time you have that up, it's just gonna be a super big threat. It's almost kind of similar to the Malphite ulti, and yeah, it's gonna be looking like Volge is gonna be proactive on this in this early game and picks up the Volibear.
Yeah. Well, the few junglers that can kind of go toe to toe with Udyr in the hyper early game. It's stuff where rune choice really heavily impacts this matchup, and we're seeing the Braum hovered at the moment. Don't lock it.
Yeah, don't lock it. This champ is not blindable for sure. I like to see Nautilus. It's for sure way better. Gives you another form of reliable, really reliable engage. Now they have a lot of like diving tools. Potential is really good against the champions like the Kalista. And I mean, honestly, Rising Dawn's comp, I'm not sure what they want to do. Obviously, we're gonna see where all these champions are gonna go. Right now, they have so many melee champions, and that's just kind of, I mean, obviously not so good into the Gwen. Who just really wants people to come into her, and it's gonna be the Renata lock-in from Fine Forever. So I'm just gonna say it. We talked about how London United really needs like a good draft to play around, and I think this for sure they made. They have blessed us with that. I think for sure they won the draft on this one, unless Super Big Fan is gonna take the Volibear onto the top side, which actually could be good into the Camille. But Rising Dawn are kind of struggling a bit more to see what they wanna do. Obviously, they wanna get every single lane ahead. Honestly, they had the Kalista, the Camille as well. They're super snowbally laners, but not sure if Fatarel can manage to do this on the during the early game. We just have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one. This game is pretty important for Rising Dawn. Whilst they may be thinking about it as a formality going against London, who have struggled a fair bit this split, but they need to pick up the win if they want to keep pace with Unique and with Lightside for one at the top of the table. And obviously, London United are going to be very keen to pick up their first win of the split.
Yeah, for sure. I think they can be really happy with this one so far. I think if they are going to be hyped about anything, it's this game currently, because obviously, they lost 4 games in a row. They're not happy about that one, but you cannot really go back in time. You're not really Cillian or Echo, where you can like control stuff like this. You gotta go back and make sure that you get a dub in this one. So right now, this game is the only one that matters, and Voljo is actually gonna take the Gwen into the jungle. So we're gonna see the Volibear against the Camille on top. I'm excited to learn about this matchup on top side.
So just conceptually for me, it feels like Volibear, strong early game champion. Camille does need a little bit more time before she can start just taking half of someone's HP as true damage. So maybe London United feeling like they can index a little bit more into this lane, try and put Vangstead so far behind that he isn't really going to be relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that fact. It's gonna give Rising Dawn a bit more breathing room in their laners though, because obviously Gwen not as strong as the Volibear jungle early, just gonna look to be able to clear at the same, not the same pace as the Udyr. I think Fatarel is gonna be able to clear a bit faster, but it's gonna be like to get that full clear going. You know, this is what we we're talking about so much, just the full clear junglers coming out and being absolute menaces in the mid game. So it's gonna be exciting to see if Rising Dawn can get some leads on their own, maybe in the bot side. But honestly, I think London United has such like solid lanes, and Rising Dawn, I don't feel like they have that much setup. Maybe after level 6, Fatarel can actually get something going, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fatarel just like clears towards the bot side, does the same thing when they cancel respawn and looks to get like some sort of early Drake if he has the prio to do so.
Yeah. But they really are neutralizing lanes a lot from London United. I think with the possible exception of that mid lane, Sarge piloting the Aurelia into the Silas, and obviously Silas used to having to deal with long-range mages, but not particularly enjoying Aurelia at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like kind of struggling with this one in the early. He's playing against the Ignite as well. We have seen the Ignite twice already. He's not been managing to get kills with it, but it's for sure some kind of like a lot of pressure, right? And then Denzel really is not gonna be able to kind of play this lane in the early one, so I'm gonna have to give up prior to Sarge. And as I say that, Vangsted actually dodges out on the Volibear E, I believe it is, and yeah, kind of chilling.
Yeah, the Sky Splitter, I believe it's called.
Oh.
And do you know what? I'm kind of hoping that we get the Vanguard diff this game, because he's a player that is well known and well named for his inconsistency. But I always prefer it when he's on the ball and he's able to make these aggressive plays work that really few other players can actually make happen.
Yeah, and this is just the perfect pick to do it for, right? If he's ahead, he's probably gonna just take over. If he's behind, they can't really do much. But actually, big trades coming in from both sides here. Vangsted gets level 3. Is he gonna go for some sort of trade? No, doesn't look like it's. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Procs that bone plating. But he may have to be a little bit careful as Fat Irel is pathing towards the bot side and Super Big Fun. He's playing right at the limit of this Volibear. Vangsted flashes forward and secures first blood. Rising Dawn might not be done as Buzzy is the next target. Still has flash. Forced to use it under the tower in the Rend. Not quite enough damage.
And as you mentioned, you prefer Vangsted is on his A game and looks like he is. I mean, Super Big Fun used his flash earlier, but couldn't manage to get it. Now Sarge not done with Denzel. Denzel actually playing well in these trades. Kinda gapping him, honestly. Still has the TP to his advantage, and Volger is not gonna be able to get something going on this mid. So really solid currently for Rising Dawn. They actually forced the Nautilus flash as well, and Darius feeling really comfortable. Vangsted picking up the Sheen already.
Yes.
It's not gonna get better for the Volibear.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, Volibear is a champion that still has a lot of that innate strength, so if Super Big Fun maybe isn't tanking tower shots and is playing a little bit more respectfully, he can go for the play. But yeah, it's kind of exactly what you wanted for Rising Dawn. This lane that London United have really identified as something that maybe they can play through, not really going in their advantage at the moment.
And this is just something that you're gonna kind of be really sad about. If you just lose the game by just losing your lanes, then it's really hard to like review and try to improve from it, because especially now when I feel like their matchups are completely fine on the map, and when you're just losing like that, it's basically just, guys, what can we do to improve? And then you say, just win your lane, lol. And then it's not as easy, right? But yeah, it's obviously not over yet. Sarge, actually.
Sarge, just goes too far, and dies in the mid lane. Roger is coming into there, but Denzel just able to walk it away. And yeah, you're losing in your lanes. You've already been solo killed in top. You've been solo killed in mid lane. And the bot lane CS difference in favor of Limitless is kind of ridiculous for this stage of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, London United this game, they're really relying on their solo lanes to actually get leads on their own, because they have such strong laners. And Rusty Sniper, obviously on the bot side, gonna struggle a bit against the Kalista. He's just gonna try to stay alive, get that level 6, and try to stabilize the lane. But yes, not looking good at all. Denzel and Vangsted completely gapping. I mean, Sarge and Super Big Fun, I just have to say it. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, and I think the key thing for me about Rising Dawn as a team is they are the sort of team that is going to go for aggressive plays and play on the front foot when they do have a lead. I'm not imagining that we're going to have a similar situation to Unique in the previous game, where they secure these early advantages and aren't really able to do much with it.
Yeah, and I mean, you just have to watch and see, right, when this both now Vangsted and Denzel are level 6. Faterel has cleared once again towards his bot side. Let's see if he's gonna be able to pick up the Drake or not, because he does have Pry at least in bot side, looking to cover his mid lane up now as well, to make sure that he has Pry as well. And might just go back to his Gromp now. He doesn't really care about that early Drake by the looks of it. And Super Big Fun manages to get maybe one plate.
Maybe.
Oh, it's gonna live. Unlucky.
It's just how it goes sometimes. You get solo killed at level 3 and then not quite getting the tower play as you would like to. Sarge going in for a trade on to Denzel. He's going to pop the flawless duet, but that is a beautiful dodge away from the Rising Dawn mid laner.
Yeah, and this is just where it becomes harder, right? Because once again, Aurelia is playing the Ignite, and when you're losing lane with that Ignite, you're just kind of you're just gonna lose a lot of pressure in the side lane as well, because you're not gonna have that TP threat, that TP flank being available for you. And Voljo looks like he's like trying to cover his laners a lot, especially in the mid, but he's playing Gwen. Like, he's not playing a Volibear who can like set up and gank, and he's gonna go for something here, but Super
Big Fun secures the stun, and there isn't going to be the wall dive coming through from the Camille. Oh, used, and they're going under the tower. This may be a little bit risky. That is a lot of durability, but the heal comes through. Still a 1-for-1, though. I don't think Vangsted's going to be too upset about that one. Fat RL now chasing onto Woljo, who should be able to jump over this wall soon. They don't appear to have the skip and slash, or maybe they think they can win it. No, just jumping themselves away, and Fat RL goes back to the golems.
And just looking at like Vangsted getting that trade, right? Super big fan. Also losing one wave under his tower. So for sure a worth one for Camille. Just really likes to... Obviously Camille being one of those champions that really likes to trade gold because she's just scaling way better than the Volibear. And super big fan, while happy, picking up at least 300 gold under his pocket. Still gonna lose the wave, still they're gonna lose in terms of XP, and Vangsted obviously really happy. Fat RL also winning out on that trade and gets his camps, while Woljo still trying to obviously farm as much as possible, but has to kind of give up something because he has to cover these lanes that are losing.
It's one of the most horrible situations in League of Legends, playing as a jungler when none of your lanes are really doing too much because you start getting restricted. And whilst it hasn't happened yet, only 8 minutes into the game, I imagine that Woljo is going to start losing access to some of these camps if Rising Dawn keep up the tempo. Yeah,
I mean, for sure, right? We see actually Vangsted dodging out there on the... I forgot what you call that ability. I'm sorry, man. But dodges out on it regardless, and oh, that damage is just so insane. The Sheen is doing so much work.
Yeah. Woljo is around the top side. They have spotted out Fat RL on that ward, and Sarge is also rotating over. Needlework coming through, getting the slow onto the UTD. Dodges away from the Fueless Duet. That is absolutely beautiful.
I mean, Rising Dawn, they're not scared. I mean, Fat RL is dodging out there, as you mentioned, and while it's not a huge lead for they're still just... It's just resulting when Woljo has to cover his laners. It's just resulting in Fat RL being almost up 3 camps, and now he can look to evade on this blue. I'm not sure it's going to result in much, but he's going for it at least.
Well, we might see a kill in the bot side as Buzzy slowed on the Glacial Augment, flashes away, but Limitless goes for the follow and secures his first kill of the game. Rusty Sniper locked onto the tower as Denzel is also trading. He's going to pop out the Callista ultimate, but doesn't opt into the dive.
This is just the worst experience for you, jungler. Like, every single lane is just losing 1v1 and 2v2, and I mean, he has 1 assist, right, Woljo? So he's kind of out jungling Fat RL a bit, but doesn't matter. Rust Sniper gonna go down as well. No, it's a disaster, man.
Can't even walk to super big fun. Not gonna go down, actually. Quantum of solace there for London United, but you need to be James Bond to find your way out of this situation.
Yeah, you have to be some sort of James Bond or Matrix. Oh, maybe Super Big Fun is Matrix!
Maybe he is. Neo, he can't dodge the bullets well enough. Who secures the solo kill onto Vangsted? That's more like it.
Oh, super big turnaround there for Super Big Fun. Super crucial, right? I mean, probably the game is almost kind of over if you die there once again to the solo onto Vangsted. But also Vangsted, like, I just noticed 1 minute ago that he was actually 2 levels up, but now they're gonna be quite even. Obviously, Vangsted still kind of chilling, has 2 kills, gonna be able to obviously scale there, but super crucial for Super Big Fun. Now they can get maybe just a tad bit of momentum. At least he can tell his jungler now that, hey, at least one lane is not like turbo losing. That's nice.
Yeah. I think Woljo's going to be quite appreciative of that, but it doesn't change the fact that London United are in roughly a 3,500 gold deficit. They have got that Hex Drake, which is going to be providing them with a little bit of gold value, but I don't think it's enough to overcome this disadvantage.
Yeah, no, I don't think so as well. Right? I'm just looking at the board, like Limitless being 30 CS up, Denzel almost 30 CS up as well, and Vangsted, I mean, currently 10 CS up. I think Super Big Fun is going to be able to take most of this wave, but they're just ahead across the board, and this is what happens when everyone is just winning their lane. You get these insane gold leads so early in the game, and while London United has the first Drake, Fat RL is going to secure the Herald now, and it's just up to him. Like, he can place it top, mid, bot, he can choose. Like, he has a smorgasbord of opportunities, as I like to call it.
A smorgasbord?
Yes. It's a Swedish classic.
Swedish. What does it mean? What does it mean?
It's literally like a table full of like good sandwiches. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah. It's good.
What's your favorite sort of sandwich?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot now. I have to just choose one. I like a classic meatball sandwich, like a classic Swedish meatball sandwich. It's good. Really it's really good. Do you have a favorite yourself, or?
We're not close like that, mate. We're not close like that, mate.
Ah, okay, I'm sorry. Maybe next cast. Instant shutdown, that's a bummer.
Maybe. No, I'm a BLT man. It's pretty basic, but
that's a good.
Big fan of bacon. Lettuce and tomato are kind of there, but they're doing their part.
Yeah. That's respectable as well. I think that's my number 2 actually. Even though you mentioned it's basic, but it doesn't mean it's not good, right? So yeah, it's nice.
In the bot side, Rising Dawn able to secure that first tower. A lot of gold going over to Limitless as Woljo in the top side, just making sure that Super Big Fun is able to escort this wave in. Might be going for a dive, actually, turning off the tower, but the hookshot wall dive gets Vangstead over that wall. The needlework not quite able to follow him. The tower is going to re-aggro. That level up for a little bit of extra HP might be crucial, as in the mid lane, that's Rift Herald being summoned. Camille going down, that's nice, but you're losing in the mid side. Sarge taken low. Ultimate comes through from Denzel, stolen that one, and Limitless is on a killing spree.
Man, they're just diving the side of London United, like they don't care. They're just putting their Herald down, they get so many plates. Fatterell though is gonna get caught here.
Will be traded over. First kill of the game for Rusty Sniper, but still, you're losing it out on tempo, and Limitless is going to be able to take down this tower as well.
Ooh, are they? Limitless?
No.
Kind of feeling himself, but gonna back away eventually, so keeping that mid lane tower up, kind of crucial actually, but I mean, it's gonna be super low. Once these plates are gone, it's gonna be kind of 3 autos for Limitless before that goes down. So really hoping that Rust Sniper can clear out the wave in time before that crashes, because that tower is just basically a silly target as well. Kind of like Guffe on Jinx 2 games ago when he was playing with that flash. I'm sorry, man, I had to do it.
That came from nowhere, dude.
I'm sorry, I'm just feeling myself today. Sorry guys, I love you all equally, but sometimes he knows himself as well. He maybe he didn't have the best of games, and that's okay. You cannot play well every single game. That would be just ludicrous, right? Even Faker has his moments where he just completely runs it. Yeah. And speaking of running it, super big fun.
Potentially here is matching up against Denzel. Vangstead in a 1v3 for not the first time in his career. Get away with the hookshot wall dive, but Woljo following up with the needlework. There is no support for the Rising Dawn Esports jungler as he's hooked, he's rooted, he's taken out. Kill secure for Woljo.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that they can keep doing, that maybe there's some way back into them for the game, but Vangstead kind of knows as well. He's just pressuring there, and he knows that his team can do something else on the other side, so not the worst deaths that could happen. Kind of a good death, as the boss would say. Not the best of ones, but still decent one. He's not gonna lose as much. I think Fatterell will be able to pick up most of this wave, but they're gonna get the top side as well, so kind of a net win still for Rising Dawn. Kind of sad to say that, because obviously London United making a proactive play, getting that kill, but look at this top side, they're just losing so much.
And I think the thing, crucially, is Vangstead does not mind being 2 and 4 at all. That's really where he operates at peak efficiency. And yeah, like you're talking about, Rising Dawn can take out that top lane tower, all of the outers now down, and that gold lead is continuing to grow on these key carries.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to find like some way for London United to get back into this. They have Woljo, who is still looking at, sitting at 2-0. He's doing good in the game, even though he's like quite far behind from the early game, having to cover up for his lanes a lot. But Seraphine, obviously also behind. But they have this kind of combo where if Rust Sniper hits like a multiple ulti angle, then Woljo can like come in from the flank, and once he has 2 or maybe even 3 items, he can look to do something. But obviously it's gonna be an uphill battle no matter what for London United. As I say that though, maybe Denzel is gonna get dove here. That could be an option.
Potentially. Everfrost's going to be used there, stealing away the volley barrel. That's going to be a lot of tankiness very soon, but the tower being turned off is not going to protect the Rising Dawn mid laner, as the objective bounty is also being claimed. Limitless now between 2 towers, potentially caught out here as the ultimate is going to be used. Brilliant chaining of the CC as in comes the Fate's Call. Shutdown secured by Buzzy, and they're not going to find much more.
I mean, it's really solid there from London United. They make a play on the top side, and then they have enough members to cover on the weak side. And Rising Dawn, I think they were a bit too hyphy there. I think they could have waited a bit for Fatterell to arrive at the scene before they went for that dive. Maybe it could have been a bit better, but yeah, I mean, they get shut down, and even though Buzzy was the one to get it, a bit sad about that one, they still managed to slow down the tempo of the game a bit, and now it's only 2,500 gold lead that we're looking at.
Yeah, and the thing about this composition for London United is it scales so well. Seraphine is so disgusting once you get her onto 3 items. And these bruiser champions in the Gwen, in the Aurelia that want to be diving forward, want to be dealing a lot of damage, playing aggressive, are going to benefit so much from that.
Yeah, for sure, right? And obviously, this time around. Both teams looking at sitting at 1 Drake apiece, so that soul is gonna be quite far away as well. So really gives London United a bit more time to breathe with. And again, like we mentioned it in the draft as well. I do still favor London United's draft, but it is a matter of fact if they can stay even or like kind of get back into the game. As you mentioned, Vangstedt does not mind being 2-4, but if he's gonna keep doing that and like, kind of put himself behind for his team, he's not gonna be that insane threat on the sideline.
And MTES, something that I said a little bit earlier is that Rising Dawn aren't really the sort of team that play defensively with the lead. They are going to go for these proactive plays, and so maybe we're not going to see them fall down like Unique did in the previous game. That was a little bit too far. You've got to find the middle ground between not doing enough and maybe doing a little bit too much. Yeah,
no, for sure, right? And as you mentioned, maybe Rising Dawn is not the best team at like closing out as well. They're gonna go out with a bang for sure in the early stages of the game. Maybe in the mid game, it's actually where they're kind of struggling. I kind of talked about this as well a bunch of times. Let's see if I have time to do it. Sarge going on to Denzel.
Yeah, Woljo's going to be here as well. Denzel forced to flash away, throws out the ultimate, but Gwen is immune, doesn't get slowed down, will still be stunned, but I'm not sure if the Silas has enough damage to outlast the Gwen. Woljo, 4-0-1, 8 stacks on the Dark Steel. This Gwen is getting scary.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we're talking about, kind of the saving grace, right, for London United. Voljo being untouched so far in this game, still obviously being a lot of farm down, but with 4 kills, he doesn't really care, man. And while Rising Dawn is gonna do something with a cross-map on this one, so still trading objectives, I really feel like London United is starting to slow down this game a bit and not letting Rising Dawn do whatever they want with their aggressive playstyle.
And that's what you've got to do, right? That's what you've got to do against players like that. You've got to say no to them at some point.
Yep.
Rising Dawn now looking to push in the mid lane, but they don't really have the best siege. Sarge going to secure that route as there goes the Encore onto 3 people. Can London United capitalize? There goes the Berserk. Buzzy stuns up his own mid laner as the double stuns comes through. Denzel stealing away the Encore, but he's tone deaf. No one's going to be dancing to that tune.
Yeah, Denzel really feeling himself there. If he could have been a multiple target hit, right? If that happened, would have been lights out, but lights out may be happening and they're going in again.
Super big fun finding Fat RL, Buzzy not quite getting the engage. Denzel going forward, but gets stunned himself. Now in a little bit of a 1v4. Super big fun secures the first kill of the fight. Double kill for the Volley Baron. Limitless is going to die. What is happening? M-Test, Rising Dawn are starting to fall apart. Rusty Sniper is going to be going down, but Fat RL doesn't have anywhere to go on the UTD and should eventually be chased down. It's not going to happen, man. He's too fast. Super big fun running him down. The Sky Splitter comes through. Not quite enough damage. Does just tank Fat IRL, so not going to be able to find that execute.
Yeah, I mean, Fat IRL is just feeling himself. Maybe against the tower. No, he's just going to go down eventually. And, I mean, as you mentioned, we're just not surprised, but we're kind of seeing finally the team comp superiority that is London United coming in. I mean, Rust Sniper hits like 2 or 3 targets with its ultimate, and the fight goes really long, where Gwen can shine. Sarge, I mean, does his thing kind of, but obviously Voljo is being the star of this show. Like, has the Rift Maker now, has 10 stacks on the Dark Seal, and now Rising Dawn, they really can't just play how aggressive they want. They really have to think and play smart in this next upcoming minutes, or they're just gonna lose the lead in kind of a similar fashion as Unique did in the last game.
Yeah, and it's really coming off the back of Woljo here, has picked up this Rift Maker now. This Gwen is absolutely terrifying as the Mountain Drake is going to be secured. Rising Dawn maybe thinking about an engage here, but it would be a bit tempestuous as Denzel. Lone man left in the pit, fine forever, not fine for much longer as it's more kills for Woljo. Pings are going on to the Baron. I think London United might be doing it, M-Test.
Denzel has not the TP up, right? I mean, Fat IRL does not have flash as well. As long as they get this plant down, there is no way Fat IRL can enter.
They're pinging it. They're pinging it. Buzzy's walking over.
Okay, they're thinking for it. They're just gonna start this, and while they're not doing it the fastest, they actually have Voljo, as you mentioned, super strong right now. And what am I talking about? They're doing this. They're just burning through
this is going down rapid like a fire cannon. Vangstedt busy on the bot side trying to get a split push. Limitless doing the same thing in the mid lane as well, just trying to get these waves as far forward as they can. But Fat IRL is in no position to contest. Baron for London United, not quite a gold lead yet, but I think that's going to be changing fairly soon.
Yeah, I mean, if they can just set up with this Nash now, obviously, I mean, actually, I was just talking about Super Big Fun. We were saying he was getting solo killed, right? And then he managed to kind of turn it around, and after that, I think he was 2-2 after he got that solo kill, and now he's sitting on 5-2. He's actually kind of tanky on his Volibear with the Death Stand. The Divine Sunder as well has the stopwatch going for that Sonias. I mean, now I'm struggling to see now actually where Rising Dawn can turn this fight around, even though they're still ahead in gold. I just feel like London United comp is so much better.
They just don't have the pressure. They just don't have the swagger that they were playing with around about 10 minutes ago. Super Big Fun even has a level lead onto Vangstead. This is how much this matchup has been swinging. And I think for me, it has to be on Limitless. 3 items on this Kalista. Got that Wit's End as well, so a little bit tankier up against Woljo, but it's still a very difficult task.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? Especially against the likes of Seraphine, Gwen, who's obviously gonna be immune. The Volibear who can buy so much time for you and like turn off the towers, you know, a flash on the side of Kalista as well. And he only has cleanse to like for one ability, right? And Vangstead, they're gonna go for Super Big Fun.
Yeah, they should be able to catch out the London United top lane. Oh, he's saying that he's turning around with so much damage. The Zhonya's to buy himself as time as fine forever will get pulled back with that Fate's Call.
Oh my god, he's doing it!
And Super Big Fun going for a 1v2 in the bot lane.
He's winning it!
Pushes forward, takes out the opposing bear, and that is going to free up London United to push on this mid lane.
Holy moly, Super Big Fun gets again. I thought he was gonna get one shot, but yes, he turns around. Oh, tries to sniper, don't miss the ultimate. Denzel.
Also gonna go wide from Denzel. You need some singing lessons, mate. Needlework gonna be used as well. And the United not quite capitalizing as this Volibear is kind of just doing what he likes. The bot lane Vangstead is forced to run away in terror.
I mean, however I was to tell that Volibear does not scale well, I was completely wrong. Obviously Vangstead so behind the Sarge.
Limitless caught out with the flawless duet. Another dash from the Irelia and takes him out. Buzzy potentially caught in the jungle. We'll have to expend that flash to get away.
Man, it's just super crazy to see the momentum you're swinging in the mid game, and this is kind of what I guess my next point will, like last split, my point were, guys, you need to stop fighting every single objective and start the cross map. Okay, now the teams did that, and now, wait, maybe okay, I have time. I have time to talk. Okay, all good. Now I think the next point of developing is probably like playing lanes. It's kind of easy. You just play the lane in phase, you know your champions. But the mid game looks to be where a lot of teams are actually struggling right now, because we've seen now 2 games where one team has had a sizable lead, and then in the mid game they just start to turn, and the better comp is, I mean, obviously shiny right now for London United.
Yeah, Rising Dawn just weren't able to convert and now find themselves in a deficit, both pressure and gold-wise. Item completions, that Immortal Shieldbow coming through from the Sarge, so a little bit tankier on the Irelia, and that chem check Putrefy from Rusty Sniper is going to be so important to prevent the healing coming through from this Kalista and from the Sylas. Yeah,
and this is just what Rusty Sniper's role is this game, right? I mean, he has 2 jobs, build healing reduction and don't be tone deaf, as he called it, on those ultimates. If he can hit at least 2 targets, it's probably just gonna be a dub for Woljo. On his Gwen, he's super strong, goes for the Sonias as well, so he's gonna have a bit of survivability there. And yeah, I mean, this Drake looks like he's gonna be going down to London United unless Rising Dawn is gonna move there. Looks like they're just gonna go for some sort of cross map, but I wonder how much of a cross map is actually gonna be when London United has the mid prio and Volibear is sitting safely there on the top side.
Yeah, I feel like the pushing power of this sort of 4-man core from London United are a little bit stronger. We are starting to see some resets come through. Cancelled as the Drake is now going to be the focus, and Rising Dawn, I love this actually, able to take down this top lane inhib tower, not going to be able to secure the inhibitor itself, but it's a proactive play, and it's the kind of thing that they were doing 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, and this is what they have to keep doing, right? They have to kind of mess with London United's heads and play the macro game better. This is like kind of the only way they can win the game, because once again, I think the comp is way worse. Maybe if Vangstead, if they keep doing this crossmap, Vangstead can get to 4 or 5 items, then it doesn't really matter that Super Big Fun is super ahead, then he's still gonna win that side lane. So that's kind of what they're gonna hope for. Obviously, I was gonna say that London United, you know, they have come a long way. They have like a really good draft this game, and they have been, obviously lanes did not go in their favor, but after that, when Woljo kind of came online, they have been playing well together. But still, Rising Dawn, the goal league being quite even, and the towers, you know, they have so many towers actually in their favor, and I think for sure Rising Dawn, if they can keep doing like that and keep kind of out-macroing London United, it's for sure like anyone's game right now.
But there is that ticking timer of the Mountain Soul. In 4 minutes, London United will have that available to themselves. And when you've got so much healing from the Volibear, from this Irelia, from this Gwen, the extra resistances gain even more value.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, right? And just speaking of value, I would love to see Find Forever actually going for the healing reduction as well. I think you're playing as Aurelia, you're playing against Seraphine, Gwen as well. Like, Volibear 2 with the Divine Sun and Death Stance, you need this healing reduction. And you actually see it on none other than the Camille.
The Executioner's Calling is not enough. Yeah,
no, it's for sure not enough. For sure, Meister is not gonna be able to proc it on 5 targets. So yeah, could be an item angle there for Find Forever, but right now, not sure if he's actually going for it, but he's gonna get caught.
Oh, huge hook coming out from Buzzy. Fate's Call keeps Find Forever alive, but Fat RL is now going to be the target. 2 levels down on Woljo, and the needles are tearing him apart. The Berserker's going to buy some time, and it's actually the re-engage coming through from Denzel, but the Zhonya's buys crucial time for Woljo, but still gets shut down. That's the main carry. Can Rising Dawn do it? Fat RL secures the stun, but he's still getting jumped to by Sergeant. Denzel flashing forward onto Rusty Sniper, who flashes back away. It's a kill for Vangstead. It's another kill for Vangstead. What is happening in this game end test?
No way, what happened? I thought Lonely Knight was gonna roll them over, but Rusty Sniper's also goes kinda wide. They go way too deep. Woljo actually gets caught there, and Sarge is gonna go down. So it's an ace for Rising Dawn. What happened?
There's a wave here. There's 15 seconds on Woljo. I'm not sure if Rising Dawn can end the game, but they can get damn close. No. Okay, backing away, gonna go towards the Baron, the safer, reliable play. Oh my word.
Man, we're not gonna get a moment to breathe and think logical, right? It's not gonna be, it's just gonna be a tussle about who's winning that one. I mean, it's just super chaotic. Woljo, obviously the true carry of London United in this one, goes down super early in that fight, and after that, they just don't have the damage to deal with Rising Dawn. And I mean, Denzel got a good flank on Rust Sniper as well. I mean, Rust Sniper, obviously without his ultimate, not gonna accomplish a lot. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's how they have to play the fight. They kind of have to split London United apart, hope that Voldy goes way too deep, which he did in that one, and oof, we said it was anyone's game, and I still think it is, even though it's a 5k gold lead now almost for Rising Dawn. I think still London United can get their head together, keep their the good mental that they have shown this game up, and still anyone's game, but damn, Rising Dawn, I mean, nice, well-played fight.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Vangstead going forward onto Rusty Sniper. Rest of his team aren't really there to follow up as he does get stunned. There goes the Encore, but dodged away from by the Hextech Ultimatum. Stopwatch to buy some time. Berserk! Everyone's fighting amongst themselves on London United, but no one's dead just yet. On the backside, Woljo takes out Fat RL as Limitless is kiting for his life. Find Forever will go down, and the Callisto running towards the enemy base is not where you want to go. We thought that Rising Dawn had secured themselves an advantage, but it gets flipped back again. Limitless will go down. Huge fight for London United.
It's just a big mess, man. Like, I thought for sure they were just gonna ace in there. You saw the Berserk coming out super clutch, hits multiple targets in a choke. Should be enough. But obviously, London United has to counter to that because they're not playing with an AD carry on their team. So there's no one that is gonna be like have 3 items in this game, have the IE, and like kind of out-attack your teammates to death. So I mean, good pickup there from London United. They just turned that fight around, but Vangstead is not done.
Rusty Sniper gonna be falling low, but the roots just to buy enough time.
Okay, it's not.
And Vangstead can't do anything. That's a shutdown for Super Big Fun. I just want to apologize to my neighbors. We said that this game was going to be a banger, and then we doubted ourselves. We shouldn't have done that end test. The final game of the evening, delivering in every aspect.
I mean, 110%, right? I mean, Vangstead there as well, going for that catch, almost gets onto Rust Sniper, but now this is going to mean the soul, the mountain soul for London United. It's going to be so huge in this game. Super Big Fun. He is just absolutely chilling, man. Has so many tanky items right now, has the mountain soul as well. I mean, I'm gonna say it again. I'm struggling to see now how Rising Dawn can win a fight, but I mean, I've been surprised before. I'm not gonna say anything right now.
Whew. Oh
yeah,
my
let's take a breather. That's a good idea.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down. I feel like our conversation about sandwiches earlier is just so out of place in the context of this game now.
It feels so far off, like it felt like it was 50 minutes ago we talked about sandwiches. So much has happened since then. The world has changed so much.
Oh, I love games like this, man. I love.
This is my cup of tea as well. I thought for sure that obviously we're not biased as casters, right? But we do have emotions. We are humans as well. And I thought Rising Dawn with a good draft would just kind of roll over London United. So I'm really surprised and delighted to see that London United is putting up such a good fight. And if again, it's all about the momentum building, right? If London United can get one win on the board, just one, and while at the same time making sure that Rising Dawn knows that they lost to a 0-4 team, I mean, the tables can turn really fast in this league.
Yeah. And so, something that I've just realized we haven't really mentioned, this is Woljo's, I believe it is one of their first games on this roster. Level 16 now on the Gwen, and whilst they may have gone a little bit too aggressive at points, still the man that you need to keep your eye on, the man that you need to focus on, Inhib Tower. Not going to be defended by Rising Dawn, that's fine. They recognize that they can't really contest it. The Inhib, though, something that they do not want to give up without a fight. Sarge fishing with the flawless duet. Inhib falls and London United, they back away. 2 minutes until the Baron, 4 minutes until the Elder. You really don't want to be dying close to those objectives because it could be game losing.
No, for sure, right? We saw Wangstead dying just before the Drake Soul spawning. I don't want to see the same mistake happen before the Nasher. But London setting up a bit of a cheeky...
that blue ward.
That was a clutch one. I think it was Denzel actually, so well played to you, man. That was nice. Let's see now. Rising Dawn, if they can actually get this midway fast to get to Prio, they could look to get some time advantages and get some vision on the side of London United's jungle, but no, this is the thing as well. When you're basing right now, you're giving up so much control on your jungle. This is what happens now. London United tried to base. They have been sieging for quite some time. They have probably a lot of gold in their pockets, what I want to spend before this Nash comes up. And this just gives Rising Dawn kind of the time to push out their waves and kind of do the similar things. And actually, Limitless now has 2.5k in his account. He's actually 6k up from Rust Sniper, and it probably doesn't matter because Rust Sniper is playing Seraphine, right? But he's actually full build now on this Kalista. Super huge. Yeah,
that Guardian Angel can be so important in fights, just being able to get that resurrection on these fights that have been a bit more sustained. It's not been about the burst, it's about the continual pressure. It's just hitting your opponent for as long as you possibly can. As Vang said, goes over the wall onto Sarge, but still gets stunned and now has overstepped into the Hextech Ultimatum, but Denzel and Fat RL are on the way. We're getting a team fight brewing. 20 seconds until the Baron. The winner of this fight is likely the winner of this game. But Rising Dawn, they back out of the fight for the first time in their lives. And London United are able to fight through their jungle and maybe can get some pressure towards the big purple worm.
And Langster is just giving me a heart attack, man. Like, this guy, he knows that, I think he knows that he's like in a 1v2 situation, but he just goes for it regardless. And he gets back up from his team, manages to survive on that one. But man, I mean, if you do that again, please make sure that at least you have like an escape plan and you're not tossing with my heart like that. And now the Nash is actually up. So let's see if Rising Dawn probably not gonna be able to make a catch here, but they have the control right now on the river. Wangstead, don't do it, man.
Oh man, every time he throws out the hook shot.
Yep, my heart stops. I just have to take a sip of my water because this might be the final chance I get to do it. So, cheers.
As it stands, though, longer this game goes without one of these teams going for an engage, Buzzy! Flash hook onto Fine Forever. Fate's cooled down. That is a big engage tool for Rising Dawn. The flash is a big one for Buzzy as well, but I'm sure he's going to be glad to trade that over. London United now moving towards the Baron and starting it up immediately. Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's burning through this super fast. Like, he really gives Rising Dawn. They have to go for it now. Oh! Flash out from Sarge, but he can't follow up. Woljo going forward. Good Rising Dawn have cut this beautifully, but there goes the sharp onto Limitless as Dagstead dives into the back line using that Hextech Ultimatum to split up the fight, but Rusty Sniper somehow still alive. No! Limitless takes him out as it's a cluster. Oh my word! Super big fun with the kill as Limitless is going to resurrect. Double kill for the Kalista. He's kiting! How are they doing this? Woljo goes into the Zonias. It's a 2v2. And the Gwen and the Volibear roll forward. But Vangstead! How? How has he won that? He's going to go back and this game is not over!
No way, that game is not over from there. What happened? I thought Voldy was gonna go complete mentally there. I thought for sure that LDN was just gonna get wiped there. It looked so good for Rise Dawn initially, but as you mentioned, the Goin is just super strong and Super Big Fan still alive. He's actually going for this somehow, but I don't think he's gonna be able to end it, right?
Oh, the Vankster goes back in! He goes into the Hogstig already, but he's dead! 12 seconds left on Denzel!
No way, no way!
He's coming through, and it's Super Big Fun put behind in the early game, but leading the charge now! London United will not go down for a 5th time! They're gonna take the Nexus, they're gonna take the win, they're gonna take our Rising Dawn!
Oh my god, what a banger! I thought for sure this is not gonna be it. I thought we were not gonna be delivered a game like this to close out the day. But man, what an insane game! London United goes on the board. Holy, they take down Rising Dawn, and I mean, the drafts were looking good, right? But then there was so much back and forth, but they finally secured their first win. Congrats, London. Oof.
Shaking. Oh man. I need a break, man. I need a breather. I need water. I need to go and reflect on what we just saw. In 5 minutes' time, we're going to have some interviews. You're going to want to stick around for them. They are going to be amazing. We'll see you in a few.